Hello, beautiful alchemists. Welcome to my channel, Elina's Alchemy. It's a welcome or welcome back. So for those new here, I'm an energy worker, I'm an intuitive, I'm a channel, a medium, and I welcome you on my channel where we're talking all about energy, healing, spirituality, the spiritual path as being something that is so integrated into our day-to-day, that is not something that happens behind closed doors, but it's an experience that is integrated into the day-to-day. And so today I felt inspired and called to answer a question that I've been getting a lot. And lately I got it even as a comment under one of my videos, which is, Elina, can you share some tips and tools? Like, how can I protect my energy, especially when it comes to, family, co-workers, schoolmates, like friends. And I thought this is a very nice question to answer, mostly because I feel it comes from people who are just starting to become aware of themselves as a spiritual being outside of, the day-to-day, that there is something so much more in themselves and into everything around them. And I feel it's so fulfilling in my heart to be here to answer these kind of questions for others at the beginning of their journey, because I remember at the beginning of my journey when I had nobody to talk to, it wasn't so far back, but the internet wasn't so filled with the volume of information that it is filled with today. I mean, while this is a good thing, at the same time I find out today we need to be also very discerning because exactly of the huge volume of information. When you found some information back then, in my time, it was at least usually usually legitimate information. There were a few weird things here and there, but they were so obvious that you could right away just pass them by. But I find nowadays is like so much information, so that's also tricky. The extremes, either too little or too much, is just, So I'm happy to be answering this question today, because I remember myself back in the day, I was researching like crazy. And everything I'm going to be sharing here today, as always, is mostly through my own very personal experience and the things that I have learned on my journey. So first of all, let's address why or how does someone even come to the point where they start posing such kinds of questions of like, how can I protect my energy? How can I shield my energy? How can I keep my energetic integrity intact? How do people just come to that point that they are starting to ask these kind of questions? Because before that, right, you're just going around being like a normal person. You're not affected by things. And suddenly you find yourself feeling very sensitive or very perceptive. And you're like, whoa, suddenly the need to find ways to protect your energy arises. And it's like, why? What does that happen? What happened? What changed it? How did I come to this point that before I could just go through life unbothered by, everything. And now I'm like looking to find ways to protect my energy. What am I seeking to protect my energy from anyways? So I want to shed some light in this. If you are there and you're wondering all of these things, you're not going crazy. You're not going crazy at all. What is happening is you are coming online as a spiritual being having a human experience. We all come in here in this earth plane. We're born into some kind of amnesia, right? There's this veil of consciousness, and then by divine timing, and I feel if we look at our natal chart, we're gonna see various transits and everything that is happening. I feel like it's very telling on when the soul has chosen to have this unveiling, like this veil being lifted off of their eyes, their consciousness, and then suddenly we're like, ooh. So it is by divine timing and choice of your soul that you are now finding yourself in this position. And some of you might say, this is so freaking hard because suddenly everything is too much. Suddenly I'm so sensitive. I used to be able to, pull an all-nighter shift in my job, then come back to family, then go back into work environment, then have enough energy to hang out with people. And now it's all too much. I can't even stand people. I feel like energies are, like too much and everything, and I feel completely drained, or I feel the energies of the people. I'm ending up being irritable. So something happens when the timing that the soul has chosen for full integration of the spiritual and the aspects. There's you here in the human, and there's like all this bigger part of you that is still out there. You're still channeling it, you're still connected to that, but there comes a timing that the soul has chosen that there will be an integration process. Some people are having a full-blown spiritual awakening, like I had, where I thought I was going psychotic, but actually what was happening was all of my channels opened up for a very big, huge portion of the actual being, the actual energy and stream of consciousness that I am, to try to come down and be integrated in the human Elina. It's like consciousness that we couldn't take with us here on the physical level, because our physical vessel was not able to do that. And as this planet is also lifting in vibration, so now our physical vessels are also participating in this process. So now our physical vessels are also changed and elevated. So now we are able, in ways that never before were possible for humanity, we're able to integrate and embody way more of that broader perspective, that broader piece of us from source, spirit world, to come down to be integrated in us, through us, into this world, through our own physical level. So this is what's happening. And this is why, if you look around, there's an epidemic of people saying they're highly sensitive. They're not highly sensitive in the sense that they are whining or whatever. It's just that really this is an evolutionary intent. This is a point in our evolutionary history as planet and as human beings where this is happening. These generations of people that are finding themselves now here on this planet Earth, they have chosen exactly this role. They knew we're gonna go back there in a time where finally this planet, this Earth plane, will have gathered enough consciousness upgrade so it can now host this download to happen in its beings, whether that be humans or animals. This is what's happening. That's why you are suddenly becoming super sensitive, because certain abilities are being downloaded together with that broader aspect of you. What is being downloaded is, for example, gifts that humanity, according to esoteric texts that speak about past civilizations such as Atlantis, Lemuria, and all of that stuff, which I don't know, don't ask me what my opinion is in those esoteric narrations, but based on these, humanity used to have these gifts also back then, before the fall of humanity. And the fall of humanity was literally, according to these texts, humanity being one, being connected through telepathy, through, just literally being like the mycelium of, like trees are connected with the roots underneath. And the fall was exactly this separation. And so now what is happening is we're returning into, by downloading this broader aspects of us, these abilities are returning. So telepathy. So where before you could just walk through a crowd and you were unaffected because the separation still held strong from the fall of humanity, now telepathy is starting to come online for you. Clairsentience, which means you're walking through a crowd and you're feeling everybody's emotions, and you're feeling even what they are not conscious of, that they carry inside of them. At first, if you don't know that what you're feeling is somebody else's, you could start internalizing all of this, and you end up carrying in you all of these things. And we need to learn to, tap into things. Okay, I understand you, and then pull out. Or if you saw that, ooh, I took something on, learn to release. The best techniques for me is moving the body, but most of all, prayer, energy clearing with white sage, and the most important of all, grounding, going out in nature, sitting 2-3 hours, just do nothing, just go there and look at a beautiful greenery or a lake or something. I'm aware not everybody is able to do that. Their lifestyles might be complicated or lack of time, but you will see that also when all of these things are starting to come online and this integration starts to take place, also your lifestyle will start changing. That's what happened for me. My whole life was so full, and then everything turned upside down. I ended up, within 3 months, my life changed so much that I ended up also living close to nature and having a very different schedule, a very different career even, that exactly enables me to be able, let's say, to spend so much time out in nature to release, recalibrate my energy. If anything, like right now, I'm starting to run energy healing and sound healing circles, that now that the weather is getting better and better, I'm taking these events out of my studio and I'm taking them into the forest. So now even my work, even my job is in nature. So you will see why I'm saying this. Be aware that life will start changing in order to facilitate the new needs that are going to start arising, coming from this sensitivity that results from this coming online of you, this integration of your bigger spirit into your physical vessel. We're talking in the spiritual community a lot about ascension. And a lot of people are like, yeah, we're gonna go into 5D, and from the third dimension, we're gonna go to the fifth dimension. I agree with the concept of ascension, but it's not necessarily just fifth dimension. I mean, for me personally, and for a lot of other people, when I work with the angelics, sometimes you are coming in touch with even 11-dimensional beings. So to me, it's just, there's so much more than just the 5D. And I feel like we're not just going to disappear. We're not just going to pass into a different dimension and disappear or not have our physical bodies. I feel like the evolution of the human race from the time of Atlantis and Lemuria, where exactly we were all tribal beings, we had this connection where it was like telepathy. We were one because we were constantly connected, and then the separation came. We learned individuality, and now I feel that this era of individuality and separation has made its circle. Humanity learned the good, the bad, and the ugly, learned everything it could learn about this separation. And now I feel like we are returning in a time, not that we are going to end up, like also leaving our physicality and all that stuff. No, I feel that now what we are stepping into is having the best of all worlds. So yes, having our physicality, but that being a physical body that is upgraded. Every lunation, every eclipse, every transit, every portal, energetic portal, according to divine timing, and this you can decipher from your astrological chart, your natal chart as well, looking at the kind of transits that are taking place there. But every life experience, this has all been to prepare you, even down to the cellular level. We are going from carbon-based to crystalline, and this is really to prepare our physical bodies even to facilitate higher consciousness within this vessel. I don't feel like we are going to be shedding our physical bodies and only being spirits. No, I feel like for the first time ever, what we are walking towards, what the evolutionary intent for humanity and for this planet is, I feel like it is to embody higher levels of consciousness into physical bodies that are optimized to be able to host this very high vibrational levels of consciousness. When I'm talking about optimized, please do not think anything in terms of technology, transhumanism, like optimized through technological means. No, I'm talking about optimized through consciousness. You know how literally the body, like you can heal anything through the power of consciousness, through the power of the mind. And for me personally, I used to have Crohn's disease. I healed it with shift of nutrition. Usually you just treat it, you cure it, but it's like symptoms could always come back if you eat the wrong things. Well, for me at this time, I'm even eating all of the things that I was like allergic to. So to me, it wasn't just, tweaking the nutrition. It was really tweaking the nutrition so the symptoms lighten up and my body could go back into a place where I can have, balance and I'm not in this inflamed situation. And from then on, it was all about beaming consciousness and healing the body also on a consciousness level, healing trauma, all of that stuff. So for me, I'm an avid believer that yes, through consciousness, we can optimize our bodies even down to the physical level. And that allows us to embody more and more higher consciousness. So this is, I know this is a huge thing. It could be a video in itself, but I want to put everything in here because I don't know whoever might bump on this video, you have all of the information here. And by the way, if already you have found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up. This is gonna help the algorithm push this video further so that other people who are looking for something similar can also benefit from getting this information more easily. So thank you. So this is why this is happening. This is why suddenly you've gotten sensitive and you need to even ask questions such as how can I protect my energy, especially when hanging with family, when hanging with coworkers, when, going around and about. So I'm going to share some things that I have seen through my own journey. Just know that some of these tools, they're going to be working for a while and then they stop working and then you need to start using something else because it's like life is trying to move you out of circumstances. The goal of me giving you now these tools is not so that you take these tools and use them as a coping mechanism to still stay in places that actually are not good for you or are not meant for you to be forever there, okay? Most people in humanity, they operate from, as we say, the reptilian brain, which is a lot about comfort, pleasure, habit. So it's we say humans are habitual creatures. I'm gonna say humans who are not forward thinking or who are not future oriented are habit creatures, because most people are thinking about getting the forever job, getting the forever partner, the forever house, and it's okay, once you get all of these things, what are you doing? You're stuck there. And it's normal that we get this feeling of stuckness, and that's why you see a lot of people, they're having the middle life crisis, they start going crazy around 40, 50, and they do all sorts of weird stuff. But why this is because humans, we were meant to constantly evolve. We were never meant to just be okay, now I fixed a job, I fixed a house, here, that's it, I'm fixed, I'm gonna stay here forever. This is what the society is putting on us collectively. Why? Because society is running on certain structures that need workers. And this is a great mindset if you just wanna be a worker. But I don't feel like it is in the nature of humanity to just be workers that are just stagnating and never moving beyond, not being future oriented, not being progress oriented. So exactly because life is meant to constantly take you to a new next level, that's why situations and circumstances are getting very, very uncomfortable. They are giving you the information that, ooh, this chapter here has actually made its circle. It's time for me to start organizing my exit or my moving on to something different. And so take these tools that I'm gonna tell you here today, but take them exactly to make your life easier while you are orchestrating your exit from these places that the discomfort is showing you they are actually done for you. All right, please don't take these tools and try to use them as coping mechanisms for stagnation, as in, that's it, I'm not moving from here. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. I'm gonna cope with the discomfort by doing these tools. And as I said, you will see that these tools, they work for a while and then they stop working because You're meant to move. You're meant to move, okay? We're giving you helping tools so you don't have to suffer while you're orchestrating your exit, but that's not to you know, get you to stagnate there. Kind of like, okay, now we have coping tools. I can stagnate here forever. Now tools stop working after a while as well. I'm saying this because yes, I get it a lot from clients. I'm giving them some tools sometimes, and then they come back and they're like, hey, they don't work anymore. And I'm like, okay, what have you been doing? Have you been moving on, as we said? Like, we did a reading, we did a channeling of their spirit guides. And if you're interested in something like that, hit me up through my website, elinasalchemy.com. I'm always happy to help. Send me an email before and let me know what it is that you are facing so that I can see if I can help you. So they tell me, no, I've just been using the tools, but other than that, I haven't really taken action on the things that we discussed doing. And I'm like, well, bingo. Okay, let me sit here and channel some new tools from your spirit team, but on the condition that you are going to move towards taking these baby steps, exiting this chapter that has actually ended for you. All right? So my loves, let's say you are a person that is living in an environment where it's difficult, you feel drained, you're like, how do I protect my energy from the people I live with? Whether that is family, or here in Germany, something that is happening a lot is like these little communities where, let's say 7, 10 people are renting a house and or a huge apartment, and they are sharing, you know, common rooms, and each of them has their own rooms. I have this a lot. I have a lot sometimes people who are like, hey, I live in such a community and it's getting, you know, uncomfortable. Maybe it's time to find your own house now. But okay, while you are there, something that you can do is, number one, clearing your energy daily. If you are in your own room and you have a big window, open it. If you're going to be using white sage, clearing your energy, clearing your aura at the end of the day, you know, and at the beginning of the day as well, to kind of like start fresh. Using white sage or other herbs that in your culture have been associated with clearing heavy, stagnant energy. Palo Santo, it's not just white sage, Palo Santo is juniper, a lot of options. So you're gonna find on my channel a video that I did quite a while back on how to smudge your aura if you don't know how to do that. So this one is important, okay? Clearing your energy regularly. Taking salt baths as well, white sage, and also spending some time outside in nature, grounding, putting your hands on the ground, and through your fingers, imagine, visualize, gather up all of this stagnant, dark, whatever energy, and see it being directed through your arms. Gather it up all in your heart, and from your heart, direct it through your arms, into your hands, through your fingers, into Mother Earth. Visualize it going into the core of Mother Earth. And you can also visualize that from your perineum, from your booty, from your root chakra, you send silver cords all the way down to the heart of Mother Earth. Like, think of Mother Earth, visualize it, and think in the middle of Mother Earth, maybe there's like a diamond or a sun or something, okay? And think how you're shooting roots there into the middle of Earth, and run the energy down and up and down and up, okay? And then think above your head, visualize a golden sun, and also run the energy from up through you all the way down to Mother Earth, from Mother Earth through you all the way up, okay? Focus also with the breath. You can be guiding it with the breath as it feels correctly to you. So these are some techniques for clearing your energy daily. Also visualizing cocoon of light. This is also something, but if you are putting light around you, I would suggest not to put white light. I have found that white light is just attracting everything and anything, and golden light is doing the trick. Also, you can visualize how you're activating, let's say, something that Archangel Jophiel showed me at the very beginning of my journey was, think of a diamond heart, your crystalline heart, and how it is activated with golden light, and see this golden light dispersing all around you, creating this cocoon of golden light. And then you can visualize, you can see Archangel Michael, or just, I don't know, you guys, I work with angels and the archangels, whatever works for you, but see how there is an extra layer placed on top, like thrown on top of your cocoon, much like the invisibility cloak of Harry Potter, right? I usually see this cloak as like full of rainbow colors, right? So it's been thrown on top of your cocoon, and this is a protection. And it's also an invisibility cloak, indeed. Do this with this intention that it makes you invisible to energies that are not conducive to your own, benefit and health and balance, okay, and peace. Now, something that is very interesting is understanding the dynamics, the relationship dynamics, and understanding, do I get something out of always having drama with a specific person? So try to understand this and resolve this within you. And other than that, stay away from drama, stay away from other people's drama. Be diplomatic, just not diplomatic to the point where it becomes detrimental for you, where you are becoming a doormat, or you enable abuse. No, but go away, remove yourself from situations. Avoid eye contact. This one is a big one. If you have people where specifically you're having trouble with, avoid eye contact. If they are in the same space with you and you feel, Jesus Christ, I feel this stinky energy all the time, I don't want it, until you are able to make your own, moves to exit, because long term, nobody should be staying around poisonous energy. But until you're there, avoid eye contact, minimize contact, or just, see how contact remains within the typical, whatever. Stay rooted in the heart. Find positive things to focus on. Even like when something's happening, if you have to spend time with them, being around them, find positive, beautiful things, or think about something like that elevates you. It's important that you elevate your energy, but always have this protection put around you. Also, prayer, I find, works very, very beautifully. I've written a whole book on prayer, The Alchemy of Angelic Invocation. It's on Amazon. If you guys cannot afford it, just send me an email. I'm gonna mail you for free the PDF. I'm not putting out this book to make a buck. I am putting out this information to hopefully help people with my own journey, things that I learned from my own journey and my work with the angelics. So also another one that is very, very cool, and I always find for my clients who are dealing with such stuff, I hand select protective crystals for them. So if you have protective crystals that you can get your hands on, that would be wonderful. Black tourmaline. Black obsidian is also super powerful, but you need to be a shadow worker who is comfortable with some serious shadow, because black obsidian, what it does is it's gonna bring in the surface a lot of your own shadows. The first time I put on black obsidian, I was having suicidal thoughts, not necessarily wanting to commit suicide, but I remember I was telling my man in tears, if I die, if I kill myself, nobody's gonna care. Nobody cares for me. I'm so lonely. And it's like, wow, where did that come from? Back then, I was in such denial of the loneliness I felt inside of me. And look at what came out. That if I die, nobody cares for me. I'm so lonely. So that was a shadow, means it was something that I did not want to acknowledge. I had pushed it underneath the rug, and I said, we're never looking at that, but it was nevertheless there, and it was wreaking havoc, specifically in my health at the time, right? This feeling of loneliness, this feeling of abandonment, it had become very, very toxic depression that had been stuffed into my abdomen, and yeah, I manifested Crohn's disease. Especially if you're having diseases, I want to say this, if you're having disease in the large intestine, the colon, these kind of things, also for me, I would tend to always hold on to trauma and energies in my intestines. It's very important that you are grounding, okay? If you see that stress affects you in your stomach and the abdomen and stuff like that, go out in nature and allow the energy to be grounded, okay? This is so important, I cannot stress this. So back to the crystals. I would say the safest thing for everybody would be black tourmaline. Start with this. And if you see that through your journey you progress and you are okay potentially with some more shadow within you, to come to the surface, then by all means go ahead, work also with black obsidian. Black obsidian is very effective in combating psychic attack and also entity attachments. So I would say you can benefit from black obsidian, not wearing it all the time, but if you find you are under psychic attack, alone holding in your hand and over your heart the black obsidian while you pray. And for psychic attack particularly, and I'm saying this because it's relevant to how do I protect myself from interactions with family, at home, work, whatever, I have put out a prayer 108 times, the repetition of the mantra Kyrie Isu Christe eleison me, which to me, it works wonders. It's very important to understand that you are sovereign. You are the boss of your own energy. So whatever is happening, please don't fear, don't feel scared. It will all go away. You just need rest, recuperation, recalibration, rebalance your energy, ground, prayer. So call in assistance, call in help. And as I said, I have this book out, The Alchemy of Angelic Invocation. Check into it to learn all about how to call in assistance, beam intention, all of that stuff. So other protective crystals, generally black crystals, but you have to go to a shop and start touching black crystals and or crystals in general, because I've had people, especially younger folks, crystals like amethyst can feel very protective to them as well. And it also has to do with the soul origin family that you come from. If you're an indigo, if you're a crystal child, it's for example, for me, I know my soul is part of the blue ray family. I have at least I have a lot. I'm also right now I'm hearing they're also telling me, my angels are telling me also about emerald ray. But that's the thing, I have a lot of blue rays, so I find blue or deep blue crystals are also very much helping me. Sodalite, blue kyanite, all of that stuff. And so topaz, blue topaz, lapis lazuli. So go ahead and find crystals that you feel they are strengthening you, protecting you, grounding you. I would say black tourmaline is the standard. It's the safest. You can't go wrong. And you can pair it also. You can pair black tourmaline with most other crystals that you may find you want to pair it with, like black tourmaline with rose quartz, with citrine. It goes with pretty much anything. And I feel that there's another crystal also for those of you who may be a little bit more advanced. Tektite is also very, very powerful in protecting from negative energies. It kind of sucks dark energy out of, I remember the first time I heard the healer Mark Bayersky talk about it, and so I got myself a tektite, and I was actually very much surprised to see that I had sucked energy from something, and I put the tektite indeed on my stomach, right there where I was feeling the energy was, and indeed it sucked it out. So that's another great crystal as well. But yeah, for most of you guys, if you are starting out especially, I think black tourmaline is the way to go. You can also take black tourmaline and grid your room or your space or your home. Let's say, as I said, if you're living in communities or with your family or whatever, take 4 and grid, put 1 in each of the 4 corners of your room. The thing is, your room is the place where you have some kind of authority. So feel free also to be saging and clearing the space so that no matter what is happening in the rest of the portion of the house, your own space is like this sanctuary. Also, declutter, put out things that don't belong to you or you don't want them, or at least, I don't know, see that you have things away, that you don't have all of this clutter. I know that for a lot of highly sensitive people, it's important to have a space that feels like a sanctuary and it doesn't feel like, I don't know, something that is offering too much distraction, too much going on. I grew up in a house that was very much like decorated, like maximalism. And I don't know, this is the only room in my house that is more decorated. And you see, it's not even something extreme. My bedroom, for example, where I know this is the sanctuary, is really just a very pale blue color painted, and just my bed, 2 nightstands, a wardrobe, and a drawer for some more clothes, and that's it. So see to it that your spaces are also conducive to calm and peace. This is very important, because if you are cultivating a calm energy, then you're going out in the world and you start interacting with the world from an already calm place. But if your own space is already just not agreeing with you, it creates stress, subconscious stress and energetic stress. If your aura is frazzled and like this, then it's also harder to maintain the various energetic boundaries that you were setting with the cocoon and with all of that stuff. So do you see that basically energetic sovereignty and integrity is not just about energetic work, it's also about taking actionable, practical action, like literally, I don't know, decluttering your room or taking action to exactly move somewhere else eventually, or all of these things. So let's talk about, I'm working somewhere where I have to do with the customer service. There's a lot of back and forth. Avoid eye contact. Let's say you're working behind a counter, or let's say you're working like behind a bar or something where you're like, someone is coming. So you can still look down, or you can still look somewhere else, or you can still, and be super sweet. So it's not, avoiding eye contact is not necessarily being rude. Just make sure that you communicate with your loving signal through the voice. So see that now we're also going into other territories. We're starting to become generally mindful about, how do I broadcast my energy? Is it just with my face and my reactions, right? How culture usually teaches us that we are communicating by, I'm gonna show you through my face and the way I look at you. No, you can also communicate through signal. So the beauty of how sweet, how politely you're gonna speak to someone, even if you're not talking to them. Check this out. You're coming in, you're telling me, good morning. Let's say I'm working in a kiosk. You're coming in to buy whatever, a lemonade. And I'm doing something, I'm looking, and I'm like, good morning. What can I do for you? All right, that's wonderful. Oh, so you're getting that lemonade. Okay, wonderful. Let me give you, do you need a receipt? Beautiful. Thank you so much. Have a good day. So you did the receipt, blah, blah. You gave them the receipt. They took lemonade. You were looking kind of down. You didn't have to look at them in the eye. So I would say limit eye contact. You can also always be looking people here, somewhere, anywhere else. But the eyes are literally the windows to the soul. So often people don't even know what they carry in their souls. But you, if you're starting to come online with your gifts such as telepathy, claircognizance, clairsentience, that's a lot of information you're receiving if you have 30 people every day coming in and out and you're constantly looking into their windows to their soul. And know this, the more unconscious people are, the more these energies are projected just unconsciously, right and left, and it's like, oh, you're there, so you're the one picking it up because you're conscious, you're starting to open up, you're starting to come online. So prayer is something that can assist at all times with literally having your protectors, your angels, your guides, and something that I've been learning through the last years, where my angels told me in October 2022, they told me, we're gonna start communicating a little differently with you, and they kind of pulled back. They have all sorts of messages, all sorts of things to bring forth for clients, for readings, for this and that, but it's like no more this thing where I was telling them all the time, Archangel Michael, clear my energy, protect me, do this, do that. And it's now suddenly I have to start decreeing, and I have to become sovereign and not just being dependent on other beings to do something for me. And they are always there. They have never left me alone, but I see how they nurtured me and guided me, even in the kind of information that I bumped on. Eventually I bumped on, for example, in information from a woman called Lisa Renee. She has this website called Energetic Synthesis, and what she was teaching was the God Sovereign Free tenet, which is something that I have taken and applied over all of the things that I was doing until that point, and it literally just supercharged everything. There's so much light that I was able to draw close to me by allowing myself to step into my God sovereign free power. So literally, either when you pray or you want to set protection over yourself and you know, use it, start using it. I am God, I am sovereign, I am free. and naming things or rebuking or challenging things in my God sovereign free power, I rebuke this energy of anxiety. I rebuke this energy of depression. I rebuke this negative energy from all of those people that I felt today during my visit to my job or whatever. This energy is not for me. I do not accept it. So rebuking also energies is very important. I know that the concept of rebuking something comes from more like religious contexts, kind of like, I don't know, you see in church texts a lot this concept of rebuking something, rebuking evil. And so some of you, I'm aware, might have a little resistance to that. But to rebuke is literally to just say to something, no, I do not accept you. I send you back. No, I do not accept you. I don't let you in. And so for me, it's been a life changer. Understanding also, whoa, what is this energy that I'm feeling now? What is this stinky energy? Sit down and journal. Is this really mine now? Yeah, I have some problems. Yeah, I'm, chewing on something, but this is too much. You will know if it feels like so much like it's coming from the outside, if it feels so heavy like a blanket on your chest. Also, it's difficult to externalize it, like you cannot cry it. It just feels like a stuck emotion. Chances are this is not you. It's either psychic attack, either from people or from entities, or it's literally just energetic residue in the space, or just the energy of other people. So say, I rebuke this energy. I do not accept it. It is not for me. Return to sender. If that sender is someone other than myself, return it to them. It is for them to deal with it and grow from it. This energy is not for me. I do not accept it. In the highest good of all, in my God sovereign free power, I decree it so. I also like to add, and in the name of the Christ, it is done. So in my God sovereign free power, I decree it so, and it is done. I always like to work with the Christ energy. It's not the religious type of thing, Christ, the church thing. It is the Christ within us all. The Christ is the chosen one, the anointed one, the sovereign. So it is literally invoking the Christ light within you and saying, towards this light, no evil can stay. I can rebuke it. I can say, no, I don't accept you in here. All right. So my loves, these are some tools that I hope help you, and I hope the overall explanations also that I offered here today on this video, I hope they helped shed some light into the whole topic of like, how do I protect myself? It's like, why do I even feel suddenly that I need to protect my energy? What happened that now suddenly I feel like I'm so sensitive, I need to start checking how do I protect and shield my energy? And I have to say this, you guys, while we are unconsciously moving through life, we're not a threat to anyone. When we start to wake up, as with, there are powers that want this planet to ascend, there are also powers that don't want this planet to ascend. It's just a universe of polarity. And so when you start to wake up, it's like, oh shit, she's onto it, he's onto it. They are heading somewhere. They are heading towards ascension. And by doing that for them on an individual level, they are anchoring higher levels of high vibrational energy and having that reverberate and affect also the collective. So it's not just you and me. Ultimately, how we grow and what we do is what ends up helping the overall ascension of this planet. And yes, there are powers that don't want that. I did a video just yesterday on a topic also related to toxicity within families and stuff like that, and Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn for one last time now before going officially into Aquarius. And yes, it's a lot about, it's not just you and me. It's so much bigger than us. And when we are coming online, yes, we're usually getting attacked very harshly, very severely, because it's like, oh no, they're waking up and they're coming online. There's no telling how they're gonna break now these systems and structures and societies that do not work for them anymore. And if everybody starts pulling out of these systems and societies and social constructs that don't work for us anymore, then what is left of them? Then they get demolished. These social constructs get demolished. And those who benefit from these social constructs, because they can sell you things, they can get you to be a worker for them, they can get you to, engage in all sorts of activities and behaviors that are filling up their banks and their pockets and feeding them your energy, your precious energy. It's like suddenly it becomes an empty vessel. No structure is just the structure. Every structure is the people that are plugging into it. And so if you're here on this video, congratulations, because you're coming online and you are starting to sense the dysfunction and the discrepancy between you, who you are at a soul level, what you have come here to do, versus the things that you are currently feeding, and they are vampiric, they're just draining you. So now it feels like, oh shit, I have to protect my energy. So all of these tools, one last time, they're not for you to take them and cope forever with staying forever stagnant. They are for the first phase, while you are ideally, hopefully, and I speak strength over you, that you are able to, yes, orchestrate your exit and your unplugging from structures that no longer match with your signature, and that you either create new or you find others who have already created something new and plug there. All right, I love you all so very much. I thank you for having been here with me, joining me today on this episode, and having shared this beautiful time here with me. And I'm sending you lots of love and light. Take care. I hope to see you soon again here on Elina's Alchemy. Subscribe and stay tuned. Goodbye for now.